Fake news alert! Fake news alert! My man Mike sent this to me. Retired Americans tend to feel good about their finances, but workers not so much. Retired Americans are feeling pretty good, according to a survey from Gallup that was just released on Thursday, and this is dateline August 22nd, so just the other day. That comes a pleasant surprise, as Gallup has been asking working people about their retirement outlook and retirees for about 25 years. And there's a persistent gap between expectations and reality. Interesting. Interesting, is it not? Right here we got when you're still planning for a distant retirement, you're probably thinking about whether you'll be able to sustain your current lifestyle. Oh, you're all nervous. And then I was there too, man. And then I read this book by Larry Kolikoff with Scott Burns. And I think it was 2008, 2009. I read it, and it changed everything for me, dude. I got notes upon notes, and I said, oh, everything I thought, it wasn't a lie so much. It just wasn't based on any reality. It wasn't based on reality. So I said, oh, consumption smoothing. Consumption smoothing is a critical one here. How much you consume while you're working versus how much you consume while you're retired. The amount you consume when you're retired is significantly lower than the amount you consume while you're working. Thus, you don't need to have 80% of your pre-retirement income to survive in retirement because you're not consuming so much. Now, you might not have a biggest family. I got a family of 6, you know what I'm saying? So maybe your consumption is lower. But even right here, Anki Chen, I think it's a chick. Chen's a Chinese name. I don't know Anki. I'm not sure if that's signifying a woman or a man. I think it's a chick, though. I'm going to assume it is. She said, they kind of just don't sweat some of the stuff that maybe younger people do, talking about retirees. Maybe what they care about more isn't driving a new car or going on vacation as a lower priority. In fact, what they care more about is can they see their grandkids or their social circle? And many, many years ago, when I first started this YouTube channel, I came across a research study out of Canada. They say, what makes people happy? And what makes people happy was living in a homogenous society, all right, a town essentially, no commute, no debt, and similar religious preference. That's not multicultural. All right. Now, that doesn't mean multicultural is bad. I'm not saying it's bad. It's neither bad nor good. It's just like a firearm. These things are neither bad nor good. But if you have a dominant culture, that's what you need in a multicultural society. Ours was dominant, and for some reason we gave up because we were like so ashamed of, being Anglo-Saxon and Western theory or Western society. We're like, everybody's just as equal. No, not everybody's just as equal. When people come here, they should give up their own ways and come to our ways. That doesn't mean they have to sacrifice everything of their own ways. We'd love to keep some of that stuff. But you come to our society, you live under our norms, 100%. And now for some reason we've jumped the shark. It's crazy. But I don't think it's all's lost. I don't. We'll talk about that in a different video. But anyway, homogenous society, a dominant practitioner of a society. That would be, the Anglo-Saxon Western way of looking at things, 100%. You could even say Scots-Irish. That's mine too. But generally speaking, America is founded on the Anglo-Saxon common law, right? And that's based on Magna Carta, and that Carta, which is what should be predominant, right? They're just fact. And as we go through this more and more, are we even being all cultures are equal? The dominant culture is perceived as the worst, the most evil, because we're colonialism and whatnot, because no other races or cultures ever colonized any other people. Very interesting. So anyway, that's what we have in Canada, a study literally from Canadian researchers. Homogenous society, no commute, rural communities, small towns, and they all had the same religious preference, and they were happier. Very interesting. And then they looked at Toronto. They compared Toronto, which is not like that at all, and Toronto is miserable, where the people in these rural areas of Canada were quite happy. Let's check this out. The shift accounts for some of the persistent gap between workers' gloomy expectations and retirees' rosy reports in the annual survey. But that gap has widened in recent years. So what this says is they've had that gap even in 25 years ago. So one of the things about these surveys that always concerns me a little bit is you say, hey, what's the likelihood? Just because someone's doing well right now, that doesn't mean they will do well in the future. Like, so you could have asked someone in 2006, are you doing well? And they're like, yeah. And in 2009, they're not. You see what I'm saying? But the fact that Gallup is doing this for literally since 1999 just shows you there's been persistent gap between the two, between retirees and non-retirees, which shows it's perpetual, essentially. Retirees are just simply doing better off, even when you factor in 2007, 8, 9, 2000, 2001, and 2, Even the stupid coronavirus, the retirees are still more satisfied than workers. And that's why if you read this book, I'll put a link in the show note, and I'll get that sweet, sweet 2% commission on an $8 book. If you buy it, you'll say, huh, that guy Josh is right. That guy Josh is right. I shouldn't be so worried. I'm telling you, it'll blow your mind away. The data shows maybe more pessimistic because headlines about a looming social security crisis. Yeah. Oh boy, here we go, Teresa again. Teresa Giorgucci. People's anxiety about Social Security is can they interview? Look, interview me. Stop interviewing these same people. The Center for Retirement Research and Teresa. Interview me. These are the negative Nellies on this stuff, dude. Jeez. Has Teresa Giorgucci ever freaking talked? How many retirees has she talked to, man? Good night. I talk to retirees all the time. I've been doing it since 1998. If you underestimate Social Security, you tend to compensate by overestimating other sources of income. Well, okay, is that really, Teresa? Is that what you found in your studies with your actual day-to-day working with clients? No, you're just a professor, dude. You're not boots on the ground. But Jeffrey Jones with Gallup says pessimism may encourage some of us to squirrel away more in our retirement. I agree with that. Anyway, good stuff. And on the back of that, we had my man sent me this too. Yeah, right here. It says 8 in 10 retirees with less than 100,000 savings are living decently. Yeah, and yeah, right here. 8 in 10. Right again. Let me get my big mug out of the way so y'all can see the headline. Get out of the way, big mug. All right. Well, for some reason, it's not working. Anyway, 8 retirees age 65 plus with 50 to 100K say they're living decently in their golden years. There you go, man. So you heard it here first, your old buddy Josh. Don't forget to buy this book with my link. Tickle the like button, and we'll see you guys later. God bless.